All right. It's hello, Clifford.
Just got out of the phone booth, and he's changed into Superman. It's nice to see you, Mr. Kent. What a lovely time for us to have another episode of Torn Tuesday. Everyone, I want to welcome you to the airwaves. That includes lots and lots of people from around the internet coming to join us at theonering.net for our weekly Tuesday news and reviews and gossip show. This is Torn Tuesday. I'm so glad to see everyone. You have joined us right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and even those wonderful folks from our Discord server. And here you all are being amazing. Folks are in the live chat. Hello, everyone. And allow me to take a brief moment, aside from welcoming you to the show, but please let me introduce myself. My name is Clifford Broadway, also known as Quick Beam, a longtime writer and editor from the pages of theonering.net, which is the world's largest and most comprehensive web portal for all Tolkien fans. And right there, next to me, pulling the magical strings behind the emerald curtain, that would be the Wizard of Oz. Right there, it's Jeff Goldblum, everyone. Give a big round of applause for Jeff. There he is. I hear you're a pretty good jazz player, Jeff. Yeah? Oh, okay. No, I'm kidding. It's actually Justin. This is Justin Sewell, everyone, and he's just so funny right now. He's looking at me like, how far are you going to take the joke, Clifford? Well, it's a bright new day, a wonderful new week. Boy, do we have news and information, everyone here. I also know that elsewhere on the interwebs right now, there's a live interview happening with one of our favorite people, Tea with Tolkien. And it is time for us to celebrate the release of her wonderful new book, Into the Heart of Middle-earth. That's right. Freshly published. Welcome, my dear Caitlin. This is Tea with Tolkien and her wonderful new book, taking a close and really beautiful observation at Tolkien's Catholic beliefs and how his spiritual and religious beliefs informed the totality of his work and the things that you can find within his storytelling that might connect to your spiritual growth. Remarkable new book. I just started reading it today. And so we celebrate Caitlin, also known as Tea with Tolkien, and she's getting interviewed by our friend Matt, Nerd of the Rings, today. And pretty soon, I hope that we can also conduct a lovely interview with the author, and she can join us maybe soon. So it's a wonderful week for everyone. There's new Tolkien content out there, and it's from one of our friends who have created a really wonderful online community. Not so
Angel
different
in
from
the
our...
chat room is doing double duty and watching both. That's amazing.
Yes, that's right.
But
That's why you have multiple tabs open.
Let's check on the book, Cliff. Would you look at that? That is Amazon.com, the #1 bookstore in the whole world. And let's zoom in, please. Let's zoom in. What is that little orange button? Oh my God, Cliff, she is a #1 best seller right now. That's right.
Isn't that fascinating? That's great. Really great news.
That's right.
Very
Oh
good.
my God, a
Congratulations.
#1 bestseller.
Congratulations, Caitlin. That's fabulous. Talk about hot out of the gate. Very, very good news. So cool.
Congrats. We're gonna have her on soon enough. She's on the calendar. But her press tour for this book has been incredible, exhausting. In fact, the only time that she could make with Matt, Nerd of the Rings, was right now. But the good thing is that we're both on YouTube, so you can watch us and watch them later, or vice versa. So welcome to everybody that is watching this show later. But we do like our chat room here, because last one is here, and Garf and Bree and Otaku and Kevington. Yeah. So I'm getting reports in the chat room that YouTube has been wonky today, and Twitch has been wonky the last couple weeks. So we're trying.
Yes.
I don't control those platforms, but we're really excited for the release of Into the Heart of Middle Earth. that
T is in the YouTube chat. Aren't you busy talking to Matt on the other channel? This is so fabulous to see you in our live chat, but I know you're so busy. And yeah,
number one
I just
on Amazon. Number one on Amazon. This is incredible. Incredible.
big
Uh,
time congratulations, Caitlin. You've done it. You've done a marvelous job. I already started reading well into the beginning of the book because it just arrived today.
That's
I
kind of
thought I
like
was,
where
I thought I was going to get my hands on this a few days ago, but it just arrived today, and I just started sinking my teeth into it, and it's just so fabulous. And here you are, T. Everyone wishes you the best, the very best.
do you think Matt knows?
Great.
Hey, Cliff, I've seen Hassan. I've seen Hassan Piker and a bunch of other Twitchers do this. We can watch their live stream and comment
can-
on it.
Dove
let's-
into these, fun side projects that we've been working on. Was that the case for you, or were you kind of still at the same level of participation in Tea with Tolkien?
the pandemic was very different for my family than it is, I think, for a lot of families, because my husband worked in a hospital. And
Oh my
then I
gosh,
had
they're
all the
talking
kids at
about
home
pandemic
suddenly.
and
I actually
and
had one of
household
my
during the
babies.
pandemic. Oh my gosh. That's too heavy for this show. That's too heavy for this show. But
That's wild.
isn't this what big Twitch accounts do? They just watch other YouTubers and Twitchers. Like I know that
the whole secondary marketplace on Twitch is to watch other streamers and make comments about them.
I don't know.
it's funny.
I see clips. I see clips on Twitter and Blue Sky all the time of Ethan Klein reacting to someone else who was live streaming, and then Hassan Piker reacting to someone who's live streaming. But then people will react to who's that guy that does the backflips? The Speed. I show Speed. Maybe this is what Torn Tuesday should be now. Maybe Matt can go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. and we just react to him. Is that the content that the kids are into? Reaction content?
I know. Yeah, reaction content. That's what it's all about. Hey, you know what? That's so funny. I want to say congratulations, Gene, on enjoying Mardi Gras. You get down there now, Gene, and you tell Shia LaBeouf to straighten up and fly right. Okay, I mean, since you're down there, in New Orleans,
don't even attempt to talk to Shia LaBeouf. Let's
don't even. No. You need to tell him to straighten up and fly right.
Far away.
Since you're there in the French Quarter, if you bump into him, shake your finger at him and say, "Dude, come on,
hey,
be better."
You know what? Now that we're doing the Asmon Gold thing where we're watching other live streamers at the same time, I can see you guys in the other chat room. Bree Crossroads, I see you multitasking.
Yes. Hello, Bree
I
Crossroads.
see all of you. Do you think Matt knows that she's in our chat right now?
Maybe. I hope that they can have a good laugh about that.
Multitasking. You should put it in the chat and let Matt know that T is in our chat right now.
That's so beautiful.
Teachers, because my word, like there'd be kids like, "This is my dog."
Yeah. They're like,
It's
yeah.
That's nice. Let's share that during sharing time. For now, we're all gonna mute.
Oh, they're still
What?
they're still talking
What's going
about
on?
pandemic, zooming with kids at pandemic. All right. Well, congrats to Tea with Tolkien again. #1 bestseller on Amazon. You can order it. It's pre-order now. It ships in 3 days, but people are receiving their copies already. As you saw, Cliff have one in his hand already. So that's
right here.
That's
It's
really
really
exciting.
cool. It's called Into the Heart of Middle Earth: Exploring Faith and Fellowship in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. And I have to say, Caitlin has provided a very encompassing conversation to talk about not just literary themes and a literary take, but also
they told Matt in
deeply
the chat.
personal.
You're all of a sudden dealing with publishers and
Let's see if Matt reacts to the
book
chat room.
signings and all these things, editing
telling on
and
us.
having an editor and someone to tell you to do something differently, which you probably don't get.
Does
on
he
your
know
blog.
that we're doing the Hassan Piker
what
thing?
kind of inspired you to take that step?
Well, it's something that I had always had.
All right. All right.
Torn Tuesday Streamception.
Yeah.
Really
All
great
right.
stuff.
Well, you
Really,
guys are here for
it's
the
really
latest
great.
Lord of the Rings news, and we're here to give it to you. So
Hi, Cecilia.
yeah, let's go. We'll check back in with the stream. And guys in the chat room that are multitasking, do let us know in our chat, and we'll jump back in. We'll just interrupt and
That's
we'll
so
jump back
funny.
in. All right.
And we'll say hello to them all. Yes.
Big news.
Yeah.
Big news this week, Cliff. Huge,
Yeah.
huge news. In fact, it's so huge that BBC gave her a dedicated article on this. Yes.
Wow.
That is
Yes.
right. Those are the 4 Beatles. That is
Yep.
Joseph Quinn, Barry Keoghan, Harris Dickinson, and Paul Mescal.
And
are
Paul
playing-
Mescal, fresh off of the Oscar buzz of Hamnet.
That's right. I mean, all of these are some of my favorite actors. They're playing the 4 Beatles. Morfydd
Yeah.
Clark, Galadriel herself, is joining the biggest movie event of the year. The biggest movie
Wow.
event of the year.
Morfydd
Galadriel
Clark is going to be John Lennon's wife?
Yes.
Wow.
This is probably one of the juiciest roles in the Beatles story. And there were a lot of questions when we posted this news on Facebook. There were a lot of questions people had of like, what is going on with this movie? Who is John Lennon's wife? So I'm here to give you a quick breakdown. So the Beatles biopics. Let's back up. When the
Okay.
Beatles formed a band.
We're talking about Cynthia Lennon. So people who are really confused, we're talking about Cynthia, his first
Yes,
wife.
she's not playing
Right.
Yoko Ono. She's
Of course
playing
not.
Cynthia Lennon, the father
Of course.
or the mother of his first child, Julian Lennon.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, he had a great solo album in the 80s. I really liked his music. It was really good.
Yeah, he's still wonderful. So when the Beatles formed all the way back in the early 60s, or 58, they had equal percentage, 25% split 4 ways, 25% each. They get equal say on everything. All 4 Beatles get equal everything. Not one person has an extra vote. So anything Beatles has to be agreed on by all 4 at the same time. What we have heard is when Hollywood came calling saying, we want to make a movie about this, the Beatles said, we all need equal screen time. Cliff, this is a normal request for big stars, right? Like if you
Yes.
cast 2 big stars in the movie, it is actually quite common for them to say, I want equal screen time with my co-star.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit in contract negotiations. Yes, it's
It's
true.
just a Hollywood thing. But with the Beatles, it was a mandatory. Allegedly,
Yes.
Peter Jackson really wanted to make the Beatles movie. He's a huge Beatles fan. He won Emmys doing the Beatles documentaries. He's remixing Beatles albums right now. He's using AI to restore the basement tapes. I mean, he's doing the cavern tapes. So Peter Jackson is as big a Beatles fan as he is a Lord of the Rings fan. But it sounds like he wasn't prepared to guarantee equal screen time to each of the 4 Beatles characters. So,
Oh, really? That's okay. Is that the word? That's the word on the street.
Sam
Fascinating.
Mendes, and where do we know Sam Mendes from, the director?
Well, he was the Oscar-winning director of American Beauty
And
a few other big films too.
Skyfall, and
Yep. And Skyfall.
basically all of the big Bond movies of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and-
he's an Oscar-winning director that, well, I guess he stepped up to plate. And you're trying to, let me guess where you're going.
And
with
he
this.
did 1917. Don't forget 1917.
That's such an outstanding film. I love that movie.
Outstanding film. So
Stunning. But
he came up
his
with
solution was to make 4 different films so that each of the Beatles would have equal time. That must have been his directorial and artistic choice
Yep.
to satisfy those conditions.
Yes.
Wow. That's fascinating.
So
really.
they so the same cast is doing 4 movies
Yeah.
from 4 different perspectives. So there's going to be a Ringo movie, a George movie, a John movie, and a Paul movie. And
Yes.
each of
indeed.
them stars the same actors playing the same roles, but they're going to shoot each scene 4 different ways for the 4 different movies.
Wow, that's going to be quite the task for all audiences to go and see all 4 movies. That will be
Matt
quite the
says his
task.
Music, like that doesn't really matter when we're talking about being a
Matt's
Hobbit hopper.
joking with you, Cliff.
So you are allowed to listen to other music than just like the movie soundtracks and stuff.
Yes,
is what
I
you're
will
saying.
allow.
Okay, they moved on. All right, so that's the deal
Yes.
with the Beatles movies. All right, 4 movies,
Yeah.
same actors, 4 different perspectives.
Yeah.
And that's how he could guarantee that everybody gets equal screen time. So this is a movie event. When we talk about the Beatles movies, it is a movie event. We don't know how they're going to release them. We don't know if they're going to do 1 a week for a month, all 4 at the same time. I mean, you could binge it. I don't know. These are theatrical movies from one of the best film directors of our time, Sam Mendes, starring.
Wow.
And now
Yeah.
Morfydd Clark is joining that movie, those 4 movies, as John Lennon's wife. Now we can get into Morfydd's role. Cynthia Lennon was married to John Lennon before the Beatles made it big. And when the Beatles made it big, marketing departments, the marketing people tried to hide her because the screaming girls at all their concerts and all their television appearances were buying the records, and screaming girls wanted to chase the 4 young lads that were supposedly single. So they kept her secret.
Wow. Yes, indeed.
And they had a baby together already. Julian was already born. So John Lennon was the only Beatle that had a wife and child before they made it big. Morfydd Clark looks like she's going to play the emotional core of those early days, being the only wife and the only mother associated with the Beatles and being purposely
Wow.
hidden from the public.
Fascinating.
You can imagine the marital drama involved in that. Cliff, like imagine trying to hide your wife. Like,
Do you know,
when you're like,
that's a story for the rock and roll legends of all time. And I can't imagine that they were catapulted into worldwide superstardom. And she was there trying to raise a baby and could not be acknowledged in any way. How crazy is that?
and she discovered the love letters from Yoko Ono
Oh, yes.
in their bedroom drawer. She
Yep,
was best friends
that's
with all the other Beatles wives later in life. George Harrison's wife, Patty,
Mhm.
who Patty separated from George, ended up dating Eric Clapton, where the song Layla comes from.
That's right. That's
I mean,
correct.
we're talking about someone that is someone that is at the emotional center of the John
That
Lennon
is just-
story. And you can
that's
imagine,
remarkable casting then. The casting of Morfydd Clark seems, I think, rather fortuitous. I mean, what a huge, important part to have. And it stands out as the most overlooked chapter of rock and roll history, the most underreported. Let's just say this is underreported news. We could
Yeah.
call it that.
So
And
so you can
I'm
imagine that,
fascinated by her being cast in this role, really.
Cliff, based on the pop culture popularity and historical significance, out of the 4 movies, which one would you expect to be the biggest box office?
The one about John. The one
John
about John
Lennon.
Lennon's life.
The
yeah.
one about John Lennon.
Look, I mean, Linda McCartney had such a long and blissful, shall I dare say, uncomplicated marriage. Although that's not fair to say that, but compared to what Cynthia had to go through, compared to what Yoko Ono had to go through being married to John, I think that Linda McCartney had the better end of that deal. So, yeah, I think the one that carries the most intrigue for me in terms of the twists and turns of the narrative, I think the John Lennon film, although George is my favorite Beatle and George Harrison is my favorite songwriter, personally. That's just my take on it.
Same.
Absolutely.
Same.
George is my favorite.
George is
Yeah.
the best and the most spiritual and
Yeah.
probably the most
Yes.
aligned to Tolkien's
Yes.
values of
Yes.
all of them.
The most spiritual and the most interesting. And George Harrison also took an interest in filmmaking, and he got into the production pipeline with Monty Python's Flying Circus and ended up making wonderful films like Time Bandits.
Yeah, we're
and
getting off
Brazil.
We're getting off
But
target.
just saying that George Harrison had his hands in so many artistic endeavors that I
and
love.
we're again
I love
getting
George
off
for that.
target. So Morfydd Clark is playing Cynthia
Well, that's easy to
Lennon.
do.
That is the mother of Julian Lennon. And here's why this is again, emotional center, the emotional core of the whole Beatles story. Here's another reason. Let me bring this up.
Okay.
Cliff, what do you think the biggest hit of the Beatles' career is?
Their all-time biggest hit?
All time.
Maybe
All time.
Let It Be. Well, I would say Let It Be, but I guess Hey Jude is the qualifier.
There it is. Biggest commercial hit right there. Hey Jude. Guess what who Hey Jude is about? It's about Morfydd Clark. It's about
Cynthia Lennon.
Cynthia and Jules Lennon. It was called Hey Jules, and they changed it to
Yeah.
Hey Jude. It is a song to Cynthia and her son about the
Julian.
breakup
Wow.
of their
Wow.
of their thing. The Beatles, when you consider the Beatles and all of the hits they have, their biggest hit of all time, dare I say, the biggest hit of all time of any rock and roll act ever.
And
Hey
it refers
Jude.
to the secret hidden wife that the record company would not let John Lennon talk about publicly, and her son. That is
The
so
biggest
fascinating.
hit. So it's not just the emotional core of John
Yeah.
Lennon, who is forced to step up and be a dad when all the boys are 22 years old and doing rock and roll things. And then he cheats and he leaves Cynthia Lennon, Morfydd Clark, and for Yoko Ono. And everyone has an opinion on Yoko and her artistic endeavors and her just disposition. So it's I would say Yoko Ono's disposition is the exact opposite of the caring mother that Cynthia Lennon had to be, being Julian Lennon's mom. So that's what I mean when Morfydd Clark is probably one of the most emotional central roles in the entire Beatles story, because their biggest hit is about the character that she's playing.
Well, she's finished with production on Rings of Power Season 3, and before they launch Season 4, she has a break. She has a break between seasons, and this offers Morfydd Clark the perfect opportunity to work with Sam Mendes in front of the camera to bring this historical chapter of rock and roll to life. Because I did see some people in the chat mentioning, what will this reflect on her playing Galadriel? No, I don't think so. They work out their scheduling.
There's a nice window.
They work out scheduling so they can work on side things.
It's filming right now in England.
Yes.
It's
that's
filming
right.
now. And as we know from past years, we still don't have a release date for Rings of Power Season 3. The expectation it will be out this September, which means the marketing doesn't really kick in until Comic-Con. So Morfydd is working right now. It's February, and Morfydd is working on this movie right now in probably what might be her big breakout role. Let's be honest, Cliff. The Lord of the Rings is big, it's popular, and billions have seen it. But the Beatles movies are going to be pop culture titans.
I agree. It'll be quite a phenomenon. But it also represents a unique challenge for the distributors of the film because they've got 4 different feature-length films. Let's assume they're 90 minutes, at least 90 minutes apiece. And that is a big audience requirement to come back to their seats for 4 films in a row.
Darth, you're absolutely right. If it is filming now, it's filming right now. So by the time the marketing campaign kicks in for Rings of Power in a few months, she'll be done with it. Again, it's a long production. They're filming 4 movies at the same time. And she's shooting every scene 4 different ways. But before we move on, the last thing I want to get from you, Cliff, is here is Morfydd Clark in a giant Hollywood blockbuster playing a mother. What can we expect of that moving into Rings of Power?
Nothing. You cannot. There's no causality. Mr. Justin Sewell, I ask you, my dear friend, to be cautious.
I'm just asking.
Be cautious. Do not cast aspersions here. Okay.
Would you expect to see Celebrian in season 4 then?
That would be a really lovely thing. It would satisfy many of the fans.
Would it?
To have that kind of accuracy, because then Elrond could be shown in a way that Elrond has never been shown before, that he had been a father to 2 boys, twins, Eladan and Elrohir.
We're not getting his kids in this show. I'm sorry, ever.
They might not, but I think that would be okay. Well, since you asked me, I'm trying to tell you that I think it would be pretty badass to give Elrond a beautiful wife named Celebrian so that he doesn't have to kiss Galadriel anymore.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
welcome.
let's check in with Nerd of the Rings.
You're welcome.
Kind of giving out assignments now. This is that shining through. We're connecting the dots here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes. Maybe not everyone. Everyone, it's fun when you're
You
reading.
can say
a book.
Everyone likes homework.
I was gonna say that, and then I was like, wait.
Are they still talking about being parents? That is a stream that's not for you or I, Cliff.
No, she's actually talking about the elements in every chapter in her book where she talks about people doing spiritual homework to find their own path and their journey after the discussion of the chapter. That's what she's talking about. It's a fascinating structure in her book. That's
and it's
what
a
they're
number
on
one bestseller. Hey, Cliff, before we got a couple other hits here, but someone in the chat room in the Discord today asked, what was the story of you and I first meeting? And I said, it's actually on film.
Oh, gosh. Somebody asked about the lineup at episode 1.
No, they just said, when did you guys first meet? When did Cliff and you first meet? And I said, it's actually on film. And
is that
it's on this film.
Are you no, wait a minute, Justin, I want to correct the record. Did we meet at the Phantom Menace lining up event in front of the Chinese theater before the lining up event for the 2 towers?
Not in any significant manner.
We were just in rotation around each other and
Yeah.
didn't know it. That's kind of funny that I was right there night after night, day after day. I was right there in rotation near you and didn't even have the chance to meet you properly at that time.
So
Isn't that funny?
This documentary shows, there he is, that shows Clifford meeting me and chatting with me in person. And that is the first time we met, and it's actually on camera. Yes, Andy Serkis is in it. He's all over it. You brought Andy Serkis to the 2 Towers premiere. There you are, young Cliff. Everybody involved. So find a copy of it if you can. Used. I don't think it's streaming, or it says rent or buy on Amazon. Let me see. Can I rent or buy it? No, you can only physically buy it on DVD. That's right.
On DVD. That's right. Well, hey, don't worry. That's the old standard def version. Wait till you guys see the upgraded high res version that has a re-edit of the film. That's still coming down the pipes. So that is so
you
funny.
heard it here first. So yeah, our first meeting is is on camera. And I thought everybody would like that.
That is hilarious.
The other question that the Discord wanted to know, they've been asking me to ask you this, Cliff.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you know, first off, do you know who this character is from Tolkien Gateway? And do you think there's a chance they will be in Rings of Power?
In my estimation, this is the vampire form of Sauron when he transformed into vampire form.
Close. It's Thuringweithel.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep, you caught me.
Thuringweithel. There it is on the screen. Thuringweithel. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Was a vampire
how about
servant.
It is Thuringweithel. Try that.
Thuringweithel. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
He doesn't the ng. It's a separate consonant.
It's Thuringweithel, if I'm not mistaken. Thuringweithel.
Thuringweithel. She was Sauron's messenger. She was Sauron's messenger, but she was caught in the battle between the Master and Luthien and Huan, Isle of Werewolves. She was slain either by the Hound of Valinor or in the collapse of Minas Tirith.
That would be the first Minas Tirith in the Silmarillion.
Because of Thuringweithel's ability to change forms, she may have been an Ainu or some sort of skin changer. So the first question is, Cliff, what do you think of the chance of having this character in Rings of Power? Do you think it adds to it? Do you think there's a chance to it?
Yeah, I think that's totally badass. And anybody who wants to add in that really esoteric and hardly ever mentioned element of vampires in Middle-earth, you add that in, people are going to go, ooh, oh, wow, that is totally badass.
You know,
so,
I've
down.
said since season 1, you can vouch for this, Cliff. I've said since season 1, the weirder that the show can get in Tolkien's lore, the better the show will be received. We need skin changers. We need werewolves. We need vampires. Get weird.
And,
Tolkien wrote them.
He wrote some interesting, really different stuff, but we need this as much as we need trees that come to life and beat the hell out of Númenóreans because they're angry about deforestation. I mean, even that is just kind of loopy when you think about it. So, hell yeah. I'm all down for this.
In Tolkien's books, the great eagles talk, don't they?
Well, yes, to certain characters they do, yes.
Like, the animals should talk, and so far we have not seen any animals talk. Shelob didn't talk. The great eagle that determined the Númenórean king didn't talk. I'm waiting on the weirdness of Tolkien. I would love this show to go there. But Cliff,
well,
let me
people in the chat have properly pointed out that this character would not be alive in the Second Age during the Rings of Power main setting.
I don't care about that little technical detail. We're crushing timelines.
Neither do JD or Patrick.
We're crushing timelines. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Timelines are completely being oscillated like this in the show,
and that's okay. So, that's fine. Make me a good piece of entertainment. Okay, these timeline adherence to book lovers. Pay no mind. But Cliff, so final verdict. Do you want to see it? Would you want to see her in Rings of Power? And do you think the show should go there?
Yes. Having some badassery like this would, totally be heavy metal. And since Rings of Power is not afraid of being heavy metal, I say go for it.
And again, close up. Let me present to you my theory.
Mm-hmm.
She is in the show. We have already met her, and she is a shape changer. We've seen her change into a werewolf already. Remember the wolves that were chasing the Harfoots? And then when the wizard beat her, she turned into butterflies, and then she reformed.
Moths.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she is a shapeshifter already. She's got
there you go.
You're onto
something.
She's got a gothic kind of androgynous look. people in Discord were like, she should be wearing black if she's going to be goth.
You know, Otaku Senpai dialed in right in when you were about to say it. Now, what if one or all of the witches in Hrun are vampires? There you go. And Garfemau correctly points out, without weird Tolkien, we wouldn't have such things as Elrond's parents becoming a star and a bird. So, yeah, Tolkien gets pretty oddball weird sometimes with unexpected things.
So what I'm saying
And
is
yeah.
that like they backed off. Last Wind is right. We haven't seen her change into a wolf. It's implied in the editing of the show, but we haven't actually seen the
Yeah.
shape shifting. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
it's implied.
If I can say if I can give another piece of advice to the producers of Rings of Power, if you want the show to be even more successful, get weird. Get weird. Tolkien was weird. Look at this. He's making vampire bats. Right?
Yeah.
Female vampire bats that were acolytes of Sauron. Of course he did. Of course he did. So you're right there. You've got all the pieces already in the show. She's there.
Yeah.
And Cliff, do you remember before season 1
Let's see
came
if they
out,
do that
we
then.
thought that she might be Sauron?
Yeah, a lot of people speculated that, and it turned the internet discourse into a hellscape because of that. But yeah, I remember that distinctly.
Yeah, again, no more mystery boxes, okay? No more mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Just give it to us straight. We don't ever want
Yep.
to debate whether any person is Sauron ever again. Period. It ruined season 2 marketing. It destroyed season 1 marketing. No
Yes,
more of that.
indeed. You're
But
quite right.
if you reintroduce this actress and this character as Thringwithil, or just keep calling her an acolyte, that's cool too. But
Yeah.
we want to see
Yeah.
it.
A good point. It's a good lore point. Not that JD and Patrick are sticklers on lore, but Otaku Senpai reminds us that in the chat that Sauron is the only character in Tolkien who has transformed into a werewolf, because Tolkien's werewolves don't have humanoid forms. And you're dialing into the concept that they are angelic beings. These are demigods with great power and magic and things that are beyond the physical realm in Arda. So yeah, quite right.
All right, let's check
Have
in
you
on.
left a copy of your book on the table for one of your kids to discover yet? That's the question.
Oh man. So my kids are very much, well, my oldest is in the phase of like, if mom likes it, then it's not cool. And so
Oh, yeah.
I've tried to just be like, yeah, if you want to read The Lord of the Rings, here it is, but no pressure,
Yeah.
whenever you're ready. But they do like, oddly enough, maybe it's not odd, but they really like watching The Rings of Power with me.
Of course they do.
cool
Mom
because
assigns it like
it gives us
homework.
that kind of introductory
Let's stop.
opportunity to talk about
Yeah.
things. And then of course they have so many questions afterwards.
Questions.
Can someone
They're
in
like
the
asking me about Tom
multitasking chat
Bombadil or
ask her in
my
their
son
chat
who's 10. He has
how
so many
old
questions about
you have to be
Morgoth.
to read her book? Like, can
and
I give this
so
to my
It's
12-year-old
been a
niece?
surprisingly cool way to introduce Middle Earth to my kids who don't want to read the books because they know how much I love the books, and they're like, that's mom's thing.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
someday.
hate to say it,
I
I'm
have
still like
read,
that.
we've read The Hobbit, and I actually read the Ainulindale to them because we were reading some other, it was like Norse mythology. There was like a creation myth, and
Oh,
they were
cool.
kind of into it, but they were also kind of like, not that cool. And I was like, let me show you a creation myth you're
Yeah.
gonna like. And they loved it. But of course they're little and it's kind of hard for them to remember all the names. So it's been great though.
It's hard to remember the names for a lot of older people, let
Mhm.
alone.
Yeah, you better believe it. I couldn't even know how to say Thringwithil. All right, a couple other
Sure.
Aragorn related things, Cliff.
Yes.
Check this out. From the premiere of Greenland. So the political head of Greenland, who is an independent country that is
Yes.
a sovereign state under Denmark, just like
Yes.
Puerto Rico is under the United States. Greenland is under Denmark. So they are their own country. And guess who visited the premiere of Greenland? Let's bring this up on screen. Viggo Mortensen is probably best known for his role as Aragorn, but he's much more than that. He is also a writer, a poet, photographer, musician, visual artist, and for many years has worked with art and culture across genres and countries. We can vouch for that. Over the past few days, Viggo has been in Nuuk to show his support for us at a time of great international attention and pressure from abroad. That matters. Not only when political leaders signal the sport, but also when voices from the world of art and culture choose to step forward. Art and culture reach widely. They create understanding across borders. They remind us that this is not only about politics, but about people, identity, and the right to be oneself. It was a pleasure to meet Viggo, and the support I felt in our good conversation is something I will carry with me going forward. And
that's lovely.
There it is.
That is really lovely. And there he is.
There he is. Cliff,
that's really
what
lovely.
does it say about the man, Viggo Mortensen, Aragorn, King Elisar, that he's playing on the world stage at this level right now?
It says that he's a smart man who is cognizant of what's really important in going on in the world, and that as a director and writer and a film star and a great photographer, he is geopolitically aware and smart. He's a very intelligent man. That's what it shows about him.
Was he this political when Lord of the Rings was coming out?
He certainly was. He riled up a lot of people in certain circles of conversation because of the Iraq War and the U.S. involvement in the Iraq War at the time when the Lord of the Rings films were being released. And he had a lot to say about that at the time. He's always been like this. He's always been that smart and vocal about these things that are going on in the world. He doesn't shy away from the truth at all.
It says, this evening I went for a drive with Viggo Mortensen. And among other things, we went and saw the Northern Lights. I mean...
lovely.
Come on. That's not a stock photo. They took that.
Wow.
Like...
how amazing.
Viggo Mortensen, we need you in Lord of the Rings more than ever.
Yeah.
If not in front of the camera, we need you behind the camera. We need you writing scripts and directing and telling stories that are relevant to everything that we need to hear right now.
Yes.
We need Viggo. We need Viggo.
I love an artist who is unafraid. And if you're going to embrace any art that is going to be an expression of yourself and your talent and your view of yourself and your view of the world that you live in, it's all part of the package. It comes with the territory.
Speaking...
to be aware of what's going on in your world around you, of course.
Well, let's rewind a little bit, because we almost didn't get Viggo. We almost didn't get Viggo.
Yeah. We originally had Stuart Townsend, did we not?
Well, even before that,
Aragorn.
Even before that, we almost didn't get Viggo or Stuart.
Why? Because they were talking to Nick Cage?
Let's roll tape.
Oh, Russell Crowe.
Do I regret turning down Lord of the Rings? I don't, actually. Now, I was a big Tolkien reader when I was a kid, so I got quite excited about the idea of Lord of the Rings. But I very much felt the studio were making that decision, not the film director.
Because I didn't think Peter Jackson actually wanted me in the film. I think he was forced into talking to me because there was a moment in time everybody wanted me in and everything.
And I talked to Peter Jackson over the phone, and he wasn't saying the sort of things that directors would say to you if they were really trying to attract you to a project.
I don't think he even knows what I've done.
And I just kind of got a sense that he already had something else in mind that he wanted to do.
which turned out to be Vigo, and he should be allowed to hire the actor that he wants.
And me stepping forward saying yes was actually going to get in his way. So I knew in his own way, without him saying anything negative, he had another plan. So I just left it at that. Do I regret turning down Lord of the
Wow. Fascinating. Wow.
What do you think, Cliff?
Wow.
He would have made an incredible Aragorn?
He would have, but it worked out for the best. It worked out for the best. Did it
Only
not?
because he turned it down.
Yeah, he did, according to this part of the story. And I find it fascinating that we almost had Sean Connery as Gandalf, but he turned it down entirely.
Yeah. Well, Sean Connery didn't even get to. I don't think Sean Connery got very far. But when you get to a point where the studio is offering Russell this role, and they're like, just talk to Peter,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah, he was riding the wave of the success post Gladiator. And that was huge for him. It was totally a huge thing for Russell at the time.
yeah, and now it sounds like there's going to be a new Aragorn, and it shouldn't be Jacob Elordi. Even though Jacob is like 6'6", if you want to cast someone that would make him look like a Numenorian over men, Jacob is that guy. He's really tall.
He is. He's insanely tall.
He's
Yes.
incredible in Wuthering Heights. He was incredible
yeah.
in Frankenstein from Guillermo del
Very
Toro.
much so.
And now he's heating up the silver screen in Wuthering Heights, and he is a tall man.
Jacob has gotten the only acting nomination from Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein to be Best Supporting Actor as the creature. And
Yeah.
that's awesome, actually.
But don't doubt Peter Jackson and his casting team, because Orlando was unknown. Basically, everyone was unknown. Vigo had done a couple movies here and there. He was in, I think, Hunt for Red October, or the other submarine movie with Denzel Washington.
Elijah Wood had done a couple of interesting films.
Elijah Wood was the
including-
biggest star, you know.
he was the biggest star. No, Liv Tyler at the time was the biggest
Liv
name
Tyler was definitely the biggest star.
at the time.
Sean Astin, of course, was Goonies and Rudy.
Yeah, everyone knew Sean Astin.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Russell Crowe as Aragorn, not a bad choice. You know what? The studio was kind of cooking there. Gonna admit it. If the studio's betting $300 million and the health of the future of the studio in this movie, they need a hit. And the studio's kind of cooking when they say call Russell. He's Australian. He already fits into the vibe of Australia, New Zealand, you know.
Indeed.
So,
well, Garfemau is very good in the chat by reminding us that Sir Christopher Lee may have been the biggest name star. But in terms of who was a hot A-list celebrity in that kind of framing, in that type of framing, you'd have to say Liv Tyler was just off the heels of the Michael Bay film Pearl Harbor. Am I not mistaken with that?
yeah.
And so that was the one
yeah.
I missed. I was like,
Let's
I
check
probably
back
should've got,
in
like,
with
a
the
half
live
point,
stream of
but
Nerd of the
this
Rings
is
and
still
Tea with
one.
Tolkien, her new book.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Like it is kind of funny how I feel like we tend to like almost specialize in a way. Like we just naturally gravitate toward, certain stories and stuff, or like certain subsets of the grander Tolkien sphere. And I think The Hobbit is often an overlooked one among like deep lore fans. Like there's almost a lack of appreciation in some ways. Like I've encountered a lot of people that are like, yeah, it's a nice book and stuff, but
I don't know about
much
that.
more. It's a children's
kid's book. It's a
but
kid's book.
There's some bits in there that I think you could
Yeah, because he
really trip up
retconned
some
it.
pretty
Cliff, didn't
hardcore
Tolkien
trivia people
rewrite
with.
The Hobbit after The Lord of the
That's
Rings
what
came
happened.
out?
And I knew it was going to happen too. I was like, I bet they're going
Yes,
to ask a question about The
he did.
Hobbit. I'm not going to know it. And that's what happened. But, now I
Oh,
know.
she
I'm
hasn't
never
read
gonna
The
forget
Hobbit.
now.
See,
You're
that's
never
my
gonna
girl
forget the
right
Black
there.
Arrow.
No,
Yeah,
never.
we don't we
I
we
will
don't
say,
respect.
going back to your husband's thing with the Trivial Pursuit thing, movie trivia is one of the things that I tend to get tripped up on as well.
Mhm.
Not here,
To
and
this day.
not at Torn Tuesday. Cliff,
That's so funny.
Cliff, we have to talk about this.
Tell me, please.
We have to talk about the biggest news story of the week.
Okay. Tell me, please. Let's do it.
Mr. Frodo, why don't we just take the Eagles straight to Mount Doom?
Oh no, not
Actually
this.
makes sense.
So dumb.
Mr. Frodo,
So
why don't we
dumb.
just take the Eagles straight to Mount Doom?
No.
That actually makes sense.
It looks great. This is the debate that the fans have been having for 80 years.
I hate this AI slop.
Why
Yuck.
don't we just take the Eagles straight to Mount Doom?
Don't play it a third
Actually
time,
makes
Justin.
sense.
That's
That is
enough.
not slop, dude. That is not slop. That
That
was
is
great. That is-
Really? Well, I'm sorry, but it falls under bad AI slop.
No, that does not look like bad AI. Come on, Cliff. Come
Looks
on,
like
Cliff.
bad AI slop.
No, it does not. You cannot honestly say that with a straight face. You know it's AI, but
I've already
that
said it a
looks
few times.
real. That
And
look.
now I'm just being redundant. I'm just
It
being
looks
redundant. It looks
real.
really bad. It
It
doesn't
looks
sound like
really
Sean
good.
Astin. The mouth
It
movements don't look
does.
right. Certainly doesn't sound like Elijah Wood. And why would Mordor be a bright, clean, sunshine sky with lots of open space? And no, there was no
Well,
bright
that's
sunshine
a
in
prompting
Mordor.
issue. Okay, that's a
That is
prompting issue.
so-
That's a producer issue. But
No,
this
lame.
this is the best looking AI video anyone's ever made, and it's
It is.
perfect.
It's horrifying AI slop, and I don't want anything to do with it. Bad, bad,
Isn't
bad,
this
bad,
the
bad, bad.
oldest joke in Lord of the Rings fandom? Why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor?
Because if the characters didn't make any sacrifice for the effort of what they were doing, then you wouldn't have had any of the thematic power or absolute.
So you're just
you'd make the story
drawing it
useless.
out. You're just
You'd have
drawing
no
it out
useless.
for emotional themes. That's all you're doing.
No, that's not true. Did you hear what I said? If you do not make any sacrifices, like the fact that Gandalf died at the hands of the Balrog after going to the bottom of Moria and then up the winding stair to the top of Zirak-Zagil, sacrifice made by these characters continually reinforces the spiritual story and the power of the storytelling because we are reminded that it's worth it. We, as human beings, struggling with evil things in our lives and war and atrocities and oppression, how do we get through it? And Tolkien was guiding us through it. And the necessary sacrifices that we make towards the greater good for all of humanity is worth it, no matter how horribly bad it gets. That's what the story is about. Do you think anybody would have learned that lesson if they'd just gotten in the eagle Waymo and the eagle was a Waymo and took them and dropped it in the volcano? Come on, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Real life videos of Gandalf shredding down Minas Tirith. Like, this is dope.
So goofy. Yeah, well,
Isn't it fun?
I don't have the same appreciation that you do, clearly, of this
how
kind of
good it
AI
looks.
slop.
It looks good. It looks real. You cannot
Okay.
deny it looks real.
I can also talk about how many gallons of fresh water were wasted in cooling data centers to make this crap.
That's a different topic.
I could talk about
want
the
you to
disastrous
admit
effects that it's having on local economies and local environmental biomes.
I
We could
want
really
you to
talk about
admit that this stuff is looking good now. It's looking real enough.
My interest is in real writers like Caitlin, Tea with Tolkien, and J.R.R., John Ronald Reuel, Tolkien. I'm interested in writers who create things from their heart and from their soul, and not from
Mr. Frodo,
some lame
why don't
prompts.
we just take the eagle straight to Mount Doom?
Okay.
Actually makes sense.
So, that's so funny. But you wanted to play it a fourth time. You got it. That's it. That's the last time you get to play it.
It looks
That's it.
so good. It looks so good.
No, it looks awful. Thank you. It looks awful.
I don't know how you can honestly say that, dude. Like, you are correct.
Wow.
You are correct on all of these social and legal issues and environmental issues. You are correct.
Thank you.
But the quality of this media is good enough for cinema now.
It's changing. It's changing not by the year, but it's changing by the month in how these AI models are improving. But ours is not a show about the AI marketplace.
It is.
Ours is a show about
because
J.R.R. Tolkien and his life and works.
It is. It is absolutely about this stuff because Andy Serkis, Peter Jackson, and Weta have all said publicly that they love the use of AI into making filmmaking easier. They've already said they're probably most likely going to use AI in The Hunt for Gollum and all future movies.
Yeah, but that's confusing the point entirely. Andy Serkis is not going to type. Allow me to speak. Thank you. Andy Serkis is not going to type in a prompt and make the next Hunt for Gollum movie. They're talking about using AI in the strict avenue of assisting the visual effects artists in doing really complicated VFX. Okay? Let us not give anybody the impression that the filmmakers are going to type in a prompt and bam, there's the Hunt for Gollum. They're making that movie from scratch with real humans, real physical props and costumes and all kinds of realness. But yes, they have also publicly said in many media interviews that they're going to be using tools. But that is the clarification that I really want to get across. Having your visual effects team save months and months of work by using certain tools to accommodate creating dust clouds or water or the things you have to make on an Avatar movie to make those engines create real simulations of fire and things in the environment and battles. Even going back to 25 years ago, they were making battles happen with that massive software. And the massive software
is AI.
Was an early form
of
what we would much later call machine learning.
Yeah. Little
machine
digital
learning.
orcs making their own decisions on the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's AI.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's visual AI. It's
Andy
visual
Serkis
AI on the
and
screen.
Philippa Boyens are not typing in a prompt
it's
to
no
make the
different
next
than,
Lord of the Rings movie.
It's no different than this. It's digital creatures and characters on screen doing things. And that's what this is. This Sean Astin, Samwise thing. I shouldn't say Sean. This Samwise thing is an extension of the massive technology that they used 25 years ago. Same exact thing.
And also, as president of the Screen Actors Guild, this is the type of crap that Sean Astin is really desperate to fight against, so that actors and performers are protected from the inevitable abuses that are coming down the pipeline because their likenesses and their voices are being scanned without their permission to recreate them, to recreate their likenesses. This is exactly the type of crap that Sean Astin got elected to stop happening. Anyways, we should also point out in the live chat, Mechaborn, I like that, Born. He says, Justin has a point. I'm 90% sure that Stranger Things Season 5 was Chat GPT. You know what? There's a lot of
Well,
speculation about
it's
that.
not speculation.
About the Duffer
You can
brothers
see it
relying
on the
on
screen
that
in the
tech.
documentary on
Yeah.
Stranger Things, Netflix. The documentary of making of, you can see ChatGPT open on their computer,
Open on their
screen.
window. It's on their
it's
laptops.
Not even,
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
speculation.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
real.
I get it. I get the debate. I totally get it. But you know where I'm sitting on this. I don't have any problems with Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Andy Serkis saying we need to adapt these AI tools so that the people down the road at Park Road Post can get the job done better, faster, and make it look better and make the story more immersive. But they're not using AI
work out a financial
as
deal with
filmmakers
the actors,
in the way that this you are showing, in the way that this clip is made.
So if you're okay, you'd be okay with this if they just got a deal done with the actors, so the actors are participating in its success, right?
I'm not okay with. Oh wait. I'm not okay with a lot of it for many, many reasons. But just getting actors' consent is a small token in the bigger puzzle pieces that are moving around this. Okay.
Well,
so
okay. We should report. We should report that of all of the AI video clips that have been shown in the last week, this is the first one that got taken down officially. Sean Astin, the president of SAG, put the hammer down. I was able to save it before it got deleted, but he put the hammer down on all the social networks saying, take that down.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that he had taken that action.
He was first. It took 2 days later, where Disney sent the DMCA notice. And then yesterday, Paramount sent it. So but the first to act on this was the president of SAG. And it is interesting that the first viral video from this new thing was Sean Astin.
No small irony there.
Small irony there.
Indeed. Do you know what? We should also talk about, for a quick moment, the concept that Disney had made a big announcement, a big splashy announcement, not less than a month ago, talking about how people who are Disney Plus subscribers will now be able to use AI to have narrative interactions with some of their favorite Disney characters, fully licensed, with things that you can prompt inside your Disney Plus subscription so that you can have shorts or maybe animated shorts or other items that are created and populated by the material that you prompt. So it is coming down the tracks. And, fair warning to all consumers out there, we're going to have a hard time with media awareness because we already have a very difficult time with media analysis and media awareness in this country in particular. Here in the great United States of America, we have serious problems with people not being able to look at things and know, the stuff that my mom sends me on Instagram. And now every week, the Corridor Crew on YouTube are offering instructional videos of how you can tell bad AI and not get ripped off. Things you order from Amazon, things you order online that are badly created AI books for your children, badly made AI stuff. And they're like, you know what? We've taught you, but show this to your parents. Show your parents so that they can start to clue in and look at the differences between what is real authorship, a real creative piece made by artists and creators, and what is not made by any real artists.
But here's the thing: artists, creators deserve to get paid. But most people are not going to pay for any stupid idea that comes up in their head, like, "Oh, I want this visualized." Like, you're just not going to pay for every idea in your head. You're not. By the way,
that guy who got sued, the guy who made this fake sequel to Lord of the Rings, I wonder if he used ChatGPT to write any of it. Remember, he got sued by the literary powers. Yes.
We shouldn't just pick on Andy Serkis and Peter Jackson, even though Peter Jackson won Emmy Awards for putting AI to use on enhancing the Beatles sound, the Beatles recordings, and the Beatles thing.
Right.
That was a good use of AI. He won Emmy Awards for it. We all celebrated it. We all loved Peter Jackson for using AI there. So Peter and Andy Serkis are not the only ones using AI. Cliff, here is a new article confirming everything that I've been telling you guys for the last 2 years. Amazon plans to use AI to speed up TV and film production.
Yeah, they're doing that.
This is Reuters. This is a big, huge piece of news. It's fresh, February 2026. Amazon plans to use AI to speed up TV and film production. This is not, oh, they're going to use it in their warehouses. Oh, they're going to use it on this. They're actually saying that it's going to use. Look, and it says, look, the cost of creating is so high. The cost of creating television is so high that it is really hard to make more and really hard to take great risks. We fundamentally believe that AI can accelerate but won't replace the innovation and unique aspects that humans bring to create the work.
Indeed. Well, boy, are they giving themselves a free pass.
Well, guess what the most expensive TV show in history still is? Rings of Power.
The most expensive TV show in history still is?
Still is.
I'll take a wild stab. Man in the High Castle?
It's Rings of Power, man. Rings of Power is still
I thought I saw a chart that Rings of Power was third
Nope.
most expensive.
Nope. Rings of Power is the most expensive
then that information
TV
was
show
wrong.
of all time. In fact, Andor is the most expensive Star Wars thing ever. And Andor, being the most expensive Star Wars production ever, was only half the cost of Rings of Power. So when you see a headline saying Amazon plans to use AI to lower the costs, and the first sentence they say is the cost of creating is so high that it's really hard to make more, they are talking about Rings of Power, the most expensive TV show of all time.
Yes.
They are.
Indeed.
Amazon is publicly embracing AI in response to spiraling production budgets that limit the number of TV shows and film companies that they can finance.
Wow. Well,
Amazon emphasizes that writers, directors, actors, and character designers will be involved at every stage of production using AI as a tool to enhance creativity.
Hey, in the chat, Dodgings 5077 is spot on target by adding to the argument, imagine what Tolkien would have thought of AI used for writing and illustrating. Ouch.
The AI studio that Amazon is building tools that bridge what Chang described as the last mile, perhaps a cheeky reference to Amazon's delivery operation, between existing consumer AI offerings and the granular control directors need for cinematic content. That includes improving character consistency across shots and integrating with industry standard creative tools.
Indeed. Well, does it surprise you that the Jeff Bezos supported production arm of Amazon, which is called Prime Video, does it surprise you at all that they're completely in bed with the tech bros and what the tech bros want to do?
We've been reporting this.
The chain of command is more informing us of what is happening at Prime Video than these statements by
We've been
Chang.
telling you that Amazon has had AI for the last 5 years, reviewing scripts and making storyboards. AI, you import the PDF of your script, and it spits out storyboards.
Yep. Yeah.
And some people, I'm not saying they're related, but some people have complained critically about Rings of Power, how the shot placement, the shot design of Rings of Power is not as inspired as other movies and TV shows. it kind of looks boring.
Indeed.
And that has been a common criticism across from many respectable voices. So if you've got an AI spitting out the storyboards, I don't know. But Cliff, here's the positive.
It just makes my skin crawl because
Yeah,
I
but-
know talented artists who work as storyboard artists. Most of them that I know work in the animation industry. They don't work in live action. But most of my storyboard artists who I have a drink with at the bar, who I talk with every week, these are people who are out of jobs now. You know what I mean?
Here's a good thing. One of the most requested, if not the most requested thing for Rings of Power has been across the board more episodes. The story and character development is being shortchanged by these 8 episodes every 2 years.
Back when The Next Generation was being produced by Paramount, they were doing 22 episodes a year. 22 episodes for the season for Star Trek.
And the new Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or whatever the new Game of Thrones show is, has
Night of the Seven
episodes.
Kingdoms.
6 episodes for a whole season 1. 6.
What a bummer. Wow.
But Rings of Power,
that's the new model.
But Rings of Power especially needs more episodes because of the depth of Tolkien. The whole point of TV show was to go deeper, and Tolkien has the depth. So let me ask you this, Cliff. Albert Chang and Amazon says AI will let us make these high-budget TV series more of those shows because they're too expensive to make. So let me ask you this. If they go all in on AI for Rings of Power, which allows them to make 12 or even 16 episodes per season, is that a fair trade-off? Still written by humans. Still directed by McPain. But they get to make twice as many episodes per season.
I have to say welcome to the chat, the Wonder of Tolkien, one of our other favorite Tolkien creators who takes a very specific spiritual approach to the conversation of Tolkien's works. And I agree with his statement in the chat. I will take fewer episodes by humans than more episodes generated by computer. I would agree with that sentiment full on.
Yeah?
Yep, I sure would.
I like that. All right.
Now, hold on. Let's add the dollar amount. Since you just proudly stated, I don't know if it was pride, but maybe it was just emphasis. You emphatically stated that it's the most expensive television show in history.
It is.
Then they don't have an excuse to make only 8 episodes per season.
They don't.
Could go. They have $1 billion plus to spend year after year after year, and it's only a drop in the bucket to Jeff Bezos. It doesn't matter at all. So they can afford to make 12 or even 18 episodes for a season. So yeah, they've got no excuse for, we need to cut corners. It's too expensive. Y'all, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. That's like the tech bro bazillionaires saying, I can't afford to pay you a living wage, while the CEO of the company takes a golden parachute worth billions. I just do not buy it.
And the crazy thing is, there's a few people in the chat room that say, we just want good writing. Put your money savings into good writing. We've always agreed with that. Unfortunately,
Do you know what? I have read a book recently that covers a lot of the history of what happened on the production of The Lord of the Rings. And at the opening of the book, there was a paragraph that said, I have partially used some AI tools to assist me in the writing of this material. And I thought to myself, I'm going to have a disclaimer in every other play that I write, every other article that I publish, and it will say, disclaimer, no AI was used at all in the writing of this material or this play or this book. So that's really where I stand. It is, at this point, where a creator would say, oh, it's a point of pride for me to tell the world none of this was generative AI. This all came from my heart and my soul. All of it. And do you not think the marketplace will respond to that? If the marketplace realizes this is stuff that these people have made from scratch, this is home cooking, farm to table, real ingredients, real storytelling with real human beings putting their own blood and sweat and tears into the project of making a production happen. You know what? I think the marketplace is going to really, really respond to that. You know how much AI is on Spotify? About 40% of their new artists that have appeared on the platform are AI-generated crap. In counterpoint to that, they get only 3% of the downloads reported on Spotify. All these new AI bands that are not real. And that tells you, Justin, and I think it tells the whole audience about the limits of the marketplace and how much an audience will bear knowing what kind of guff is being thrown at them.
My only counterpoint to that is that
there's hope. There's hope.
You said your assumption is the marketplace will decide. The marketplace has decided, and unfortunately for you, more people have seen this video than saw War of the Rohirrim.
Okay.
More people have watched this version of Lord of the Rings in 7 seconds than watched War of the Rohirrim. The marketplace
Do you know why?
has spoken.
Because they got it for free on the internet for 7 seconds while they were doom scrolling, and they didn't have to pay $27.99 to go to the theater, and they didn't have to pay $15 to park, and they didn't have to pay another $30 for a popcorn and soda combo. That's why. That's why. Just saying.
Well, the reason we have these debates with each other and for the audience here is because
this is a healthy debate. This is a healthy
we are
debate.
Preparing you, the fans.
Yeah.
For a
we have to prepare everyone
that Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime and Lord of the Rings in feature films out of Weta are going to be using AI.
Do you know?
There is no if. It is a definite guarantee.
I think I was just watching that fascinating interview with former President Obama that was conducted by Brian Taylor Cohen and on YouTube, and he actually, the one that went viral
you have
because
a good point here. This is so out of whack. Go ahead.
Not really, because it was Obama who said that about 40% of Spotify new artists that are brand new that have just launched on the platform have been identified by the system as AI, but they're only getting a small scratch.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm backing up my point. I'm circling back to my point from earlier that the marketplace is already deciding that people recognize those are fake AI children's books on Amazon. That's a fake band on Spotify. People are starting to really wake up and smell the coffee.
War of the Rohirrim was a real movie, hand-drawn with human hands, and nobody went to see it.
And do you want to look at Warner Brothers marketing at that? Do you want to point the finger at them? Do you want to point the finger at their marketing team or what?
You're putting a lot of weight on people responding to human creativity, and I will argue that the War of the Rohirrim hand-drawn animation, the most human of animation styles, more than CGI, more than Pixar, more than anything. We know every single cell in that movie was hand-drawn. And the marketplace did not put any value to that. Zero value.
Good. Well, that's an interesting counterpoint you've made, Justin. Okay. But in terms of what our audience needs to know, I do think it's better that we come to the table prepared and a bit more aware, really aware of what's going on with creatives, and especially the way that the unions, the Voice Actors Guild, and the Screen Actors Guild, and the way they've been responding lately to some of these new developments and new announcements that these companies are going to just generate crap fake characters on Instagram accounts that are not real people, and it's built off
not a fake character. This is what I'm trying. That's the whole point of saying. We saw Frodo and Samwise take the Eagles to Mordor. But those aren't fake characters.
Machine learning, digested so much of Sean Astin and then replicated his performance without acknowledging him or paying him or even talking to him about using his likeness.
Good
That's
point,
what
Arafani.
that's what the unions are talking about.
Well, the same
Right?
week, the same week as a counterbalance to all the Lord of the Rings AI that was posted this
Okay.
week. Wonder if Tolkien posted this wonderful photo from behind the scenes of Isengard, the flooding of Isengard. That is what we,
Iravandi makes a beautiful point. Thank you, Iravandi, for saying that. The marketplace didn't hear about it to put value on it. Good point. Thank you.
this is a photo of what did
Okay.
they call this, Cliff? This is not AI. This is what is
These
this?
are called bigatures. Bigatures. And they are handmade physical props that are built to a certain scale with the magic of blue screen, the magic of filmmaking, to make it appear as if it was really real. They'll create a matte. The matte painting may be digital. It may be a combination of physical and digital. And they'll put the matte behind the circle of Isengard on the blue screen. These are bigatures. Yeah.
These are bigatures. They're beautiful. And Cliff, just so we end on a happy
Amazing.
note, our one big scoop.
I'm happy.
Our big scoop this week.
Yes.
Our big scoop this week.
Yeah.
We're happy. We're so happy. We're so happy to say this. It is basically confirmed to my sources that Weta Workshop is hard at work rebuilding Bigatures for Hunt for Gollum. The Bigature team has been reassembled. They are sculpting and designing right now, and Bigatures like this are going to be involved in the production of Hunt for Gollum.
That's fantastic news. The Bigatures team is back and they're going to build real Bigatures. I love that. That'll be so amazing. Do you know, there's nothing like moving a camera around a miniature the way that it worked in the Lord of the Rings films. There's just nothing like it, the way that that worked. I just love that stuff. I love that stuff.
Cliff, what does that mean? We just had a long conversation about Weta Digital and Andy Serkis using AI on the movies. What does it mean to use Bigatures? And is it a combination of both that is really the secret sauce that always made Lord of the Rings the best movie of all time?
Yeah, they had lightning in a bottle, and if you had to put your finger on it, it's because everything looked tactile. And the use of the bigatures and the way that they had the photography done on those bigatures was the real magic. It was the real magic. It felt and looked tactile in so many ways that otherwise wouldn't. Yeah.
So it was the combination of
news.
AI and the massive computer systems that were using AI to make the orc armies, in combination with the bigatures, because Ents don't really walk, and orcs were running away from the Ents when they flooded Isengard. This scene, the flooding of Isengard, is the best of both worlds, and this is what we can expect from the Hunt for Gollum. Bigatures are coming back.
Yay.
And AI is going to be in the mix.
Okay.
Just like it was 25 years ago.
Okay, that's what they're doing. That is wonderful news that the art department, the production design is including the scope and the space and the time for these artisans to build more bigatures. But now here's the next question, since we've established this. Come along with me now, everybody. What are the first things that you think are going to be built as bigatures for the Hunt for Gollum? And I have a suspicion that they might make, maybe they might make Dol Guldur. They might make Minas Morgul in the Morgul Vale.
Well, it's the Hunt for Gollum. So where is Gollum taken? When Gollum is taken and he screams Shire and Baggins, where is he?
Oh, he's in Barad-dûr, the Dark Tower. Okay, all right. If maybe they'll remake Barad-dûr, and wow, wouldn't that be amazing? There was a big exhibit at the Te Papa National Museum in Wellington, and that was where I got the chance to see the Barad-dûr Bigature in all of its glory. It was built, and this amazing exhibit there at the National Museum was really crazy.
All right. Final thing to announce this week, or actually, we got two more things. Just posted today, MegaCon Orlando. This is Fan Expo Orlando. Orlando, Florida is bringing out the heavy hitters. Richard Taylor, Daniel Falconer, Tanya Roger, and Flo
Yay.
Foxworthy will be in person at MegaCon Orlando. Yes, that's right. A rare convention appearance. It is so expensive to fly, the hours
Wow.
involved
That's so cool.
to fly from New Zealand. MegaCon Orlando is hosting these folks from Weta. And let's see here. Let's click on the link. When is it? March 19th. So we're 1 month away.
Yeah, it's
1
coming right
month
around the
away
corner. Wow. Okay.
from MegaCon Orlando. And let me guess who's on the front page. Orlando Bloom. Sean
Orly.
Astin. That is some. They got some all-stars coming to Orlando.
Wow.
They've got the big 4 Hobbit reunion tour, autograph
Backstage
photo ops.
passes.
Uh,
Whoa.
Let's take a look at the guests. I think this is. I think they got. What was it? Celebrities? I guess celebrities. Yep. Orlando Bloom, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Liv Tyler, a rare Liv
Wow.
Tyler and Orlando Bloom photo op. Guys.
And Carl Urban as well. There's
Carl
Eomer.
Urban.
There's Carl Urban.
Dominic
Wow.
Monaghan, Billy Boy, John Rhys Davies. There he
John.
is. John
Wow,
Rhys
there's John Rhys
Davies.
Davies.
Who else we got here? Who else we got? Ron Perlman, friend of the show. Corey Feldman, James Marsters. Oh, yeah. Thomas Lennon. Joe Pantoliano, who just retweeted us on Instagram recently. He's a good
Oh,
guy.
look, Martha Plimpton. How fabulous.
So look at that all-star Lord of the Rings cast. You got Orlando,
That's nuts.
Elijah, Sean, Liv, Carl, Dominic, Billy, and John Rhys Davies.
Wowzer.
That's-
Wowzer.
That's most of the fellowship, man.
That is.
So
That's
Orlando,
amazing.
and now they've added Richard Taylor, Daniel Falconer, and the rest of the crew. Are
You know
all
what?
going to be in attendance.
Orlando in Orlando. That'll be fun.
Orlando in Orlando. Oh, Cliff.
Yeah,
Oh, Cliff.
that'll be super fun.
So 1 month from this week, March 19th. Man, I wish I could go because that's an all-star Lord of the Rings
Yeah, I'd love to go
opportunity. I would probably end up spending
How cool is that?
over $1,000 on photo ops, though, like knowing myself. And finally, we've got a new product announcement. This is on Kickstarter right
Ooh.
now. Foes of Middle Earth. Begin your journey by visualizing the heart of our game, composed of almost 500 items from D20
interesting.
Culture. It's 1 to 4 players, ages 12 plus. It's a 90-minute game. It's called Foes of Middle Earth. Kickstarter access gets access to a dice tray, dice bag, art book, incredible sculptures, cards.
cool.
It looks like it's a tabletop card game. I don't know, Cliff, you play these, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love tabletop games, especially tabletop card games.
They've
Look,
already
they have some fun little minis. They're offering some fun minis too.
they've yeah, it looks like they've already unlocked some of the characters. Arwen is unlocked.
Oh, cool.
Doors of Durin has been unlocked. New battle rules for the Cave Troll unlocked. Boromir with the Horn of Gondor is almost unlocked.
They'll
That's the
get
next
there
one.
eventually.
But Cliff, it just opened this week.
Wow.
Look at that. You've got a tabletop mat. You've got cards, card decks. You've got
and
figures.
Scroll up a little bit, and you'll see that there's a big Barad-dûr dice tower. Look at that. There's a big miniature.
Is that what that is?
It's a miniature. You could call it a bigature for your tabletop, and that's probably their dice tower for
Cliff,
throwing down art.
Do you want to take a guess of what their first week on Kickstarter has earned so far?
No, tell me.
Take a guess. You're big into board games. Look at this. You got a dice tower of Barad-dûr. No, that's Orthanc. Isn't that Orthanc? That's Orthanc.
Oh, forgive me. No. That's Orthanc. Yeah, my mistake.
Yeah. So take a guess with the first week of this.
They get 300,000 pounds in the first week.
$463,000. You were close.
Well, I was close. That's a wild opening
Let's
weekend.
take a look at the video.
The darkness taking over Arda. The Eye of Sauron seeks for the One Ring, while merciless foes threaten the free folk. You, the chosen heroes of the Fellowship of the Ring, are Middle-earth's only hope. A journey unfolds where the heroes must join forces to achieve a common goal. However, the path is always unknown, traversing regions filled with danger and mystery. From the heroes' determination, we witness their incredible abilities in defeating evil. In the remarkable sights of Middle-earth, encounters defined by chance can change the fate of the group.
Wow.
Those
The
look like dragon
adventure
dice.
turns into a cruel chase. Menaces and ill omens make the Dark Lords alert and watchful.
Are you meant to paint those figures, Cliff, like
Against
Warhammer?
all odds,
yeah,
the
if you wish.
society fulfill the grueling task, but the challenge intensifies. Something even more perverse awaits them. Finally, the outcome of this ordeal erupts in flames and shadows. Will the ultimate enemy, the ancient demon
He's
of
got his own
ages
dice?
past,
Oh, he's got a
be able to
figure.
snuff out
Oh,
hope? This question can only be answered.
I want this just for the Balrog dice and Balrog statue. Okay.
I can tell right away after watching this trailer that the type of game format you have is this grid, and the gaming grid will change based upon what tiles you reveal. And every time you play the game, there will be a randomization element, and the different tiles that you play outward as your characters move across the grid will change your environment and the monster encounters that you have. So yeah, I can see. I can
I'm gonna
see that
post a
really.
link in the chat because when I tried to find this
That's
earlier
cool.
today, I went to Kickstarter.com and I searched for Lord of the Rings. Nothing showed up. I searched for LOTR. Nothing showed up. I don't know why they make it so difficult to find the thing that I'm looking for. So
Yeah.
Kickstarter, you got some issues because look, it's called Foes of Middle Earth. There's nothing. Lord of the Rings is not even in the title, which
Yeah, that's whack.
that
They need to
need to
They need to
rethink-
edit that.
yeah. I feel like if you're gonna look for the Lord of the Rings board game, it should be able to show up in a search.
Fully agree. Fully agree.
So, what would you call this, Cliff? A tabletop card game, a board game?
Mhm.
What do you call this?
This is a tabletop game that uses card elements and tiles and miniatures. Yeah, but this is tabletop, and it is it's obviously where you're creating a battle grid, and the battle grid changes every time with different placement of tiles and cards. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool. And again, they're approaching 500,000 just within the first couple days. So check that out.
Nice.
Just released on Kickstarter. Foes of Middle Earth. Look for Foes of Middle Earth. Finally,
That's
it
really
is
cool.
February 17th, and I looked it up on the Tolkien Gateway. February 17th is the day that Gandalf is resurrected.
Wow. Okay.
It is also Ed Sheeran's birthday, and it is also Jim Reigel's birthday. So happy birthday to everybody. Gandalf on his rebirth day.
Yes.
Ed Sheeran, who's saying I see fire in the Hobbit movies, Desolation of Smaug.
Yep, he sure did.
You know the annoying part of Desolation of Smaug is that they cut the desolation out of the movie, and so they still put the song I See Fire. It's like, no, we don't see fire. You cut the desolation to the third movie.
The desolation was the damage that he did all those decades earlier, and they walk through it on their approach to the Lonely Mountain. And the desolation refers to the wilderness of burnt land outside of Dale. That's what that really refers to. Yep.
Fair enough.
And happy birthday, Jim Rigel. That's fabulous.
Yeah. And Cliff,
how cool is that?
I didn't do any research, but the day that Gandalf is resurrected, is a couple days after Galadriel passes the mirror test, and her temptation with the ring.
That's right. Yes.
Do you know, just off the top of your head, do you know, was Eru making a decision to send Gandalf back because Galadriel said no to the ring?
You know, there has been constant speculation about the interconnectedness of those events. Constant speculation, but we really know nothing for sure. But it's easy to draw that connection and to think that the divine providence, which is working behind the scenes in The Lord of the Rings, was very much aware of that moment where Galadriel resisted the ring.
So it's interesting, again, back to Rings of Power. Maybe Galadriel was supposed to hook up with Sauron, and that was supposed to be the ultimate balance of good and evil. And the fact that she denied Sauron and denies the ring in the end means Eru has to send back the wizard once again.
I don't know what you mean about she was supposed to hook up with Sauron. I'm not even gonna do that.
You have a Dark Queen. It's a whole thing, and Haladriel. It's a whole thing in the show.
No, Professor Tolkien had no existing concept of that, so no one hooked up. No.
All right, fine. All right, that's it for our show. Go ahead. Let
that exist in the world. Just let that stuff exist in the world of the television series, where we can appreciate it for the work that they're doing over there, and that's fine. So, anyways, what a lovely episode we've had. It's been a full hour and a half of Torn Tuesday, and we have had a really delightful show. It's so good to be bouncing back and forth to the way that Matt has been interviewing. Yes, I'll mention that. I will, Justin. I will totally mention that. It's great for tea with Tolkien.
By the way, their live stream ended
24
seconds ago. So we were just hanging on long enough to be longer than them.
We just finished. If you guys want to see something really awesome, I'm going to close the show with a Miyazaki Minute. Here we go, everybody. Here is our Miyazaki Minute. Here in the city of Los Angeles, we have an extraordinary place. It is a museum. It is a center of art and education. And it's called the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. And they have a small exhibit.
That's where the Oscars are, right? The Academy?
Well, yeah, it is the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. They give out the Oscars every year to the best of the best in filmmaking. But they have a Ponyo exhibit. Previous exhibits with Studio Ghibli and Ponyo and all these other films were much broader in the expanse of what they showed. This particular exhibit is only related to one single film from the studio, and that is Ponyo. And it is there for you to enjoy. Go and see it at the Academy Museum, right at the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and Fairfax. I hear that it's a really nice, really cool exhibit, even though it is small compared to some of the other exhibits they have. And you got to check it out. It's really cool. I'm going to be going to see it in just another day after the rain lets up. It'll be there all year long until January 2027. So if you're in Los Angeles, get yourself a chance to go to the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, and you'll see artwork, storyboards, design elements, and inspiration from all the team of animators that worked with Miyazaki on this amazing, amazing film, which is the most surreal, weird version of the Little Mermaid story that anyone has ever imagined. It's really cute and really fun. And there you go. Check it out. And now we're here at the end of another Torn Tuesday. It's time for you guys to follow us on social media. We are theonering.net. Come to our webpage, but you can join our Discord server, free to subscribe and join on Discord. The One Ring Net, without the dot, is where you can follow us on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter, and Blue Sky. And me, I'm Clifford Broadway, also known as QuickBeam 2000. You can follow me on Instagram and also Blue Sky. It's going to be fun. We'll have lots of good conversations. Everybody, thank you for being with us. We couldn't be here. We couldn't do it without you. Much love to everyone. Take good care. Until next week, we'll be back here 5 p.m. Pacific time for another delightful episode of Torn Tuesday. So everyone, until then, please look after one another. Take care of yourselves. Good night and good luck. Or as I love to say, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye-bye, everyone.